The last letter. Emma sat alone in the quiet corner of a small cafe, holding a small, crumpled envelope in her hands. The coffee in front of her had gone cold, untouched. The hum of soft music and the distant clinking of cups felt like background noise in a movie she wasn't really part of. It had been 7 days since James passed away. 7 days since the man she loved, her best friend, her safe place, was suddenly gone. The world moved on as if nothing had happened. But for Emma, time had slowed, thickened like fog. She hadn't cried at the funeral. She couldn't. Her body had gone numb. But today, when she opened the small mailbox outside her apartment, there it was, his handwriting. An envelope. Trembling fingers now held it like something sacred. She finally broke the seal, the paper crackling as she unfolded the letter. His familiar handwriting, messy, rushed, but still so of him, covered the page.
My dearest Emma, if you're reading this, I'm no longer there to hold your hand. I'm sorry. I didn't want to leave. Not like this. But I needed to give you something. Something to help you hold on. Or maybe something to help you let go.
A tear slid down her cheek.
Thank you. For loving me. For laughing with me. For dancing in the rain and staying through the storms. From the moment I met you, my world changed. I never told you this. But that day in the bookstore, I wasn't even looking for anything. But then I saw you, sitting on the floor between shelves, reading poetry. And I just knew.
Emma's lips trembled. That day, he had offered her coffee and a bad joke about Shakespeare. She hadn't stopped laughing since.
You were my light in a world that was always a little too dark. I was afraid of love, Em. Afraid of being seen, of being known too deeply. But you looked at me like I was someone worth loving. You made me brave.
She could almost hear his voice, soft and honest, like the late-night talks they used to have. On the floor, in the kitchen, with music playing and the smell of burnt toast in the air.
I wish I had more time. I wish we had more Sunday mornings, more stupid arguments about movies, more lazy afternoons where nothing happened but everything mattered. But life doesn't ask what we want. It gives what it gives. Still, I'm grateful, because I had you.
The ache in her chest deepened. Memories poured in. The road trip to nowhere, the night they stayed up until 4 a.m. talking about their dreams, the time he cried in her arms after losing his job. All of it. Beautiful. Real. Fleeting.
I need to ask you something. Something hard. Live. Please. Keep living. I know the pain will feel unbearable. I know you'll want to stay in bed and shut the world out. But don't. Let the sun touch your face again. Let someone make you laugh again. Let yourself love again, even if it's not me. Especially if it's not me.
She clenched the letter to her chest. The thought of letting anyone else into her heart felt wrong, like betrayal. But his words felt like a hand on her back, gently nudging her forward.
You always called me the strong one. But it was you, Emma. You were the strong one. You loved me when I couldn't love myself. You stayed. You forgave. You saw past the broken pieces and still chose me. Every single day.
Her tears came faster now. Quiet but unstoppable.
And when you miss me, which you will, please don't look for me in the past. I won't be there. I'll be in the things you love. In your favorite song. In the wind that brushes your hair. In the first snow. In the space beside you at the park where we used to sit. I'll be there, Em. Promise.
She folded the letter slowly, her hands lingering on the last words.
Until we meet again. All my love. James.
Emma sat in silence, the letter in her lap. Outside, the clouds were parting, letting a little sun through. The cafe wasn't any less noisy. The coffee still cold. But something inside her had shifted. James was gone, yes. But not entirely. She stood up, placed a few bills on the table, and walked toward the door. As she stepped outside, a breeze swept through the street, soft and warm. She paused and looked up. I heard you, she whispered, her voice breaking. And I'll try. She placed a hand over her heart. Thank you for loving me. Then she walked forward, slowly, bravely, into a world that had changed forever, but still held the echo of his love in every corner.
The empty chair. Every morning at exactly 7:30, Mr. Collins placed 2 cups of tea on the kitchen table. One for himself, one for Anna. The second cup always stayed full, untouched. But he never missed a day. They had been married for 52 years before she passed. And though she was no longer there to drink the tea, he made it anyway. Jasmine, no sugar, just the way she liked it. To some, it might have seemed strange. But to Mr. Collins, it was just love. The kind that doesn't disappear when someone is gone. The kind that lingers in quiet routines, in memories folded into everyday life. The kind that fills a room, even when the chair across from you is empty. Their love story wasn't the kind that made headlines or movies. It was made of small things. She made him toast every morning and always cut it diagonally, because he once mentioned he liked it that way when they were dating. He warmed her slippers before bed during the winter, slipping hot water bottles into them so her feet were never cold. They disagreed often. She liked to dance while cleaning. He preferred silence. She loved to talk during movies. He didn't. But they never stayed mad for long. One apology, one cup of tea, one note on the fridge saying, "Still your favorite person." Even after she fell ill and the hospital visits became more frequent, she still asked if he'd eaten, still smiled when he entered the room, still told him,
"You look handsome today."
even when he hadn't shaved. The last words she ever said to him were,
"Don't be too lonely without me, okay?"
but he just didn't show it. Instead, he kept their routines. He still set out her book on the armchair, still folded the blanket the way she used to like it. And, of course, he still made her tea. One Sunday morning, as he sat at the table staring at the full cup across from him, there was a knock at the door. It was Ellie, the 8-year-old girl who lived 2 houses down. She had bright eyes, a messy ponytail, and a curiosity that never seemed to run out.
"Mr. Collins,
She said, peering inside.
why do you always make 2 cups of tea?"
He paused, then smiled gently. "The other one is for my wife." Ellie frowned.
"But I thought she died."
"She did," he replied. 3 years ago.
"Then why the tea?"
He looked down at the cup and then back at her. Because love doesn't end when someone leaves. It just changes shape. "Now, she lives here," he said, pointing to his chest. "And here," he added, tapping the empty chair. Ellie walked inside slowly, looked at the cup, then at the seat across from him.
"Can I sit in her chair today?"
He hesitated, just for a moment, but then nodded. From that day on, Ellie visited him every Sunday. She brought a cookie or a story to share. Sometimes, she drew pictures of Mr. Collins and Anna, based on the little things he told her. Anna in a yellow dress, Anna with flowers in her hair, Anna laughing at one of his silly jokes. He told Ellie stories that no one else remembered. About the time Anna got lost in the grocery store because she followed the wrong man thinking it was him. About how they danced in the kitchen the night their daughter was born. About how, even when she was sick, she never let him leave the hospital without a kiss. One morning, Ellie walked in and noticed only 1 cup of tea on the table. Her face dropped.
"Did you forget?"
Mr. Collins shook his head, smiling softly. "No, sweetheart. I had a dream last night. Anna was sitting at this table. She looked at me, smiled, and said, 'You can stop now, my love. I've got the kettle on up here.'" Ellie sat down beside him quietly.
"Are you sad?"
"A little," he admitted, "but also happy. I think she's telling me it's okay to let go, that I've loved her enough to last more than a lifetime." Later that week, Mr. Collins passed away peacefully in his sleep, his hand resting gently on the table where her teacup used to sit. At his funeral, Ellie brought a small thermos of tea and placed it on the casket next to 2 paper cups, one for Mr. Collins and one for Anna. On the cup, she had written, "Love doesn't end. It just moves somewhere else." And from that day on, whenever someone in town walked past the Collins house, they said they could almost smell jasmine in the air, like a memory that refused to fade, like a love that never really said goodbye.